You see, the moment we recognize the difference between chasing and attracting, everything begins to shift. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that effort equals results, that if we pursue someone, chase an opportunity, or push ourselves relentlessly toward a goal, we will eventually succeed. But the truth is far subtler, far more profound than sheer force. Chasing comes from a place of wanting, from a place of need, from a place where you are trying to pull life toward you rather than allowing life to flow through you. It's rooted in a sense of lack, the feeling that something is missing, that if you don't push, it will never come. And that energy, my friends, is felt. It radiates out, not as confidence or magnetism, but as tension and desperation. The universe is responsive, but it does not respond to force. It responds to alignment, to clarity, to the energy you hold within. When you are chasing, you are always leaning forward, stretching, reaching, grasping. You are telling the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are incomplete. And the subtle truth is, you will attract exactly what that energy calls for. If you are radiating need, you invite resistance, doubt, and friction. If your inner state vibrates with anxiety, the outer world reflects that vibration back to you. It is not punishment, it is a mirror. The energy you send out is the energy you receive, so if your intention is to attract abundance, love, or opportunities, the first step is not action in the conventional sense, it is energy. It is the internal environment you cultivate. Consider for a moment the difference between a plant that is forced to grow in darkness and one that is placed in sunlight and nourished with care. The plant forced in darkness might struggle and strain, but it will never flourish naturally. The plant in sunlight, however, grows effortlessly, expanding toward the light, naturally drawing the energy it needs. You are that plant. When you chase, you force growth in a direction that is not aligned with your natural state. When you align, when you cultivate your inner energy and let it shine outward, the world bends to your light. You become a magnet, not because of effort, but because of resonance. This is not about passivity, as some might misunderstand. It is not about sitting idly and waiting for life to happen. Rather, it is about cultivating an inner state so powerful, so aligned, that what you seek is drawn to you as naturally as gravity pulls an apple to the earth. It begins with awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, your feelings, your vibrations. Every time you notice yourself chasing, pausing to understand why you are pushing, you reclaim your power. You realize that the source of attraction is not external but internal. It is the energy that lives in you, the confidence, the joy, the wholeness that already exists. As you step into this awareness, you begin to practice presence. You no longer exist in a constant state of reaching for the next thing, the next person, the next opportunity. You are here, fully, completely in the moment. And it is in this presence that attraction blooms. When you feel whole, complete, and radiant from within, others are drawn to that energy without you needing to chase, explain, or prove anything. Opportunities flow, connections deepen, and life unfolds with a surprising ease. You realize that the more you try to pull life toward you, the more it resists, and the more you surrender to your natural state, the more life flows to you effortlessly. The shift from chasing to attracting requires patience, gentle observation, and consistent self-reflection. It is a daily practice of noticing where your energy is tight, where it is rooted in lack, and where it is open and expansive. It is about learning to respond to life rather than react, to radiate from your inner abundance rather than beg from outer circumstances. And as you strengthen this inner alignment, you begin to see patterns that were invisible before. You recognize when your energy is in harmony and when it is discordant. You notice how subtle shifts in thought and emotion influence the outer world. And slowly, as this understanding deepens, something remarkable happens. You stop needing to chase entirely. You move through life with ease, with confidence, with a magnetic presence that draws people, opportunities, and experiences naturally to you. It is a profound truth that the world meets the energy it senses. When you align with your highest, most authentic self, the universe responds, not because it owes you, but because energy always moves toward resonance. And so, the moment you shift from chasing to attracting, everything changes. The subtle force of your inner state begins to ripple outward, touching every area of your life, and you realize that true power is not in pursuit, but in alignment. The power to attract begins where the need to chase ends. Energy is not just something we feel, it is the language of the universe. Everything that exists vibrates, moves, and resonates at a certain frequency. When we talk about attraction, we are not talking about luck or chance. We are talking about resonance, about tuning ourselves to the frequency of what we wish to experience. Many people believe that the path to getting what they desire is through effort, through doing more, trying harder, or convincing others. But the deeper truth is that nothing in the universe is attracted to force. The universe responds to vibration. It responds to how we feel, to the quality of our presence, and to the subtle signals we emit every moment. Raising your vibrational frequency begins with awareness of the energy you are carrying. Are your thoughts heavy with doubt, worry, and fear? Are your emotions tangled in frustration, disappointment, or resentment? These are signals of low frequency, vibrations that push away the very things you are longing to experience. But when your thoughts are calm, your emotions are centered, and your mind is clear, your vibration rises. It is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about shifting your inner state so that your energy becomes magnetic. It is the difference between struggling to pull a friend toward you with need and naturally drawing them, because your joy radiates outward. One of the most profound ways to raise your vibration is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a subtle yet powerful energy. When you focus on what is already abundant in your life, you send a signal to the universe that you are in harmony with the flow of life. It is not the quantity of what you have, but the quality of attention you give to it. The simple act of noticing, appreciating, and feeling thankful transforms the energy within you. Gratitude shifts your consciousness from lack to abundance, from pushing to allowing. It is one of the most direct ways to elevate your frequency and align with the experiences you wish to attract. Meditation is another doorway into this higher energy. When you slow your mind, when you let your thoughts settle like sediment in water, your inner vibrations rise naturally. You become attuned to the subtle currents of your own energy, recognizing the difference between resistance and flow. In these quiet moments, you cultivate a sense of inner harmony that cannot be faked. It is authentic, palpable, and magnetic. When your inner world is at peace, your outer world responds. People, opportunities, and circumstances are drawn toward your calm, clear, and resonant energy without effort. Visualization is yet another tool for raising frequency, but it is not about wishful thinking. It is about feeling as if your desires are already present, inhabiting the reality you seek. Imagine the sensation of your life as you want it to be, and let that feeling permeate every cell of your being. When you feel fully aligned with that vision, your energy shifts in subtle ways. Your posture, your words, your actions all become extensions of the frequency you are embodying. You are no longer chasing a distant reality. You are vibrating as though it is already here, and that vibration begins to ripple outward, drawing the experiences and people that resonate with it. Self-love is an essential component of this practice. When you honor yourself, when you recognize your inherent worth, your energy naturally rises. Low frequency often stems from self-judgment, comparison, and the belief that you are not enough. These beliefs create tension, anxiety, and a subtle push against the universe. But when you embrace yourself fully, flaws and all, you radiate confidence, ease, and alignment. This is magnetic energy, the energy that does not need to chase, because it calls what is meant for it effortlessly. Raising your vibration is not an isolated moment, it is a daily practice. It is in the choices you make about what you focus on, the way you speak to yourself, and the attention you give to your inner state. It is in deciding to step away from negativity, to let go of stories that no longer serve you, and to immerse yourself in what uplifts and nourishes your soul. Even small shifts, a deep breath, a kind word to yourself, a moment of stillness, create ripple effects in your energy field that shape the life you attract. And there is a gentle, almost magical quality to this process. When you raise your vibration, you notice synchronicities, moments that feel guided, and doors that open seemingly without effort. This is the universe responding to your resonance. It is not magic in the sense of wish fulfillment. It is the natural law of attraction responding to energy. The higher your frequency, the more effortless your life becomes, because you are no longer pushing against resistance. You are flowing with it, aligned with the current of abundance, love, and opportunity that exists all around you. So understand this: raising your vibrational frequency is not a destination, it is a way of being. It is the conscious choice to cultivate energy that reflects the life you wish to experience, to embody joy, confidence, and abundance in every thought, word, and action. It is the silent power that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, that turns subtle intention into magnetic reality. When you raise your energy, you no longer need to chase. Letting go of control is one of the most difficult, yet most liberating shifts you can make. So much of life, so much of our energy is spent trying to orchestrate outcomes, trying to ensure that everything happens exactly as we imagine. We believe that the harder we push, the more persistent we are, the more likely we are to succeed. And yet, this very need to control, this insistence on dictating the exact form of our lives, often blocks the very things we long for. Life does not respond to force, it responds to alignment, it responds to trust. The moment you release the grip, the energy shifts, and suddenly, what was once elusive flows effortlessly into your life. Control comes from fear that you won't be enough, that the opportunity will pass, that the person you desire will slip away, or that life will not give you what you need. Fear keeps you leaning forward, stretching, grasping, and pushing against the natural current. But when you let go, when you release attachment to the how and when, something remarkable occurs. The universe begins to respond not to the tension of your grasping, but to the clarity of your intention, the authenticity of your being. Surrender is not weakness, it is strength. It is the deep understanding that life flows through you, not because you demand it, but because you allow it. Trust is the cornerstone of attraction. Trust in the unseen, trust in the timing of your life, trust that everything is moving in alignment with your highest good. When you cling too tightly, you send a signal that you are desperate, that you are trying to force reality to conform to your will. That energy, subtle as it is, repels. But when you trust, your energy becomes open, expansive, magnetic. People, opportunities, and experiences are drawn to the vibration of confidence and ease. You do not have to chase, the universe begins to move toward you naturally, perfectly, and often in ways that exceed your imagination. Releasing control also allows you to observe life with clarity. When you are not constantly pushing, when you are not consumed with outcomes, you begin to see patterns, synchronicities, and opportunities that were invisible before. You notice the gentle nudges, the intuitive whispers, and the subtle openings that guide you effortlessly toward your desires. Control narrows your perception, surrender widens it. It is in this widened awareness that attraction becomes natural, because you are no longer operating from tension, but from alignment. Surrendering does not mean abandoning responsibility or action. It is not about becoming passive. Instead, it is about taking inspired action, action that flows from clarity rather than compulsion. When you act from a place of alignment, every step you take is purposeful and harmonious. You are no longer reacting to fear, need, or scarcity. You are moving in rhythm with the energy of your intention. And in this rhythm, life begins to respond as if by itself. Doors open, connections are made, and opportunities appear, not because you chased them, but because your energy created the space for them to arrive. This shift requires patience and practice. The habit of control is deeply ingrained, often operating beneath conscious awareness. But each moment you notice the need to push, to demand, to force, you can gently step back. You can breathe. You can remind yourself that your power is not in chasing, but in embodying the energy that naturally attracts what you desire. It is in releasing the struggle, letting go of attachment, and trusting the flow. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes. The tension dissolves, the anxiety fades, you feel lighter, freer, more expansive. And in this state, life begins to respond with equal grace. Letting go also transforms your relationships. When you stop trying to control others, when you stop manipulating situations or outcomes, you invite authenticity and connection. People respond to freedom, not pressure. They are drawn to presence, to energy that is calm, confident, and aligned. When you release the need to control, your energy shifts from neediness to magnetism, from tension to attraction. What you once pursued becomes naturally drawn to you, and the quality of what arrives is far richer, deeper, and more aligned than anything forced could ever be. And as you release control, you discover another profound truth: the universe is always conspiring in your favor. Timing, circumstances, and opportunities may appear imperfect or delayed, but they are never random. Every moment, every encounter, every event is part of a greater flow. The more you trust this flow, the more your energy aligns with it, and the more effortlessly life delivers what you seek. Control is replaced by confidence. Attachment is replaced by faith. Struggle is replaced by grace. So understand this: the need to control is a reflection of fear, but the choice to surrender is a reflection of power. When you release the tight grip, when you trust, when you allow life to unfold naturally, you step into a flow that is irresistible. The energy you radiate becomes magnetic. You do not have to chase, you do not have to force, you simply align, trust, and let the current of life carry you to exactly where you are meant to be. True attraction begins when control ends. Everything we have explored so far comes together in this simple yet profound truth: your outer world is a reflection of the energy you embody. To attract what you desire, it is not enough to think positively or to visualize. You must align your actions, your words, and your choices with the reality you wish to create. Every movement, every intention, every interaction is a signal to the universe, a vibration that either resonates with your desires or repels them. True attraction is not a game of luck. It is the natural outcome of living in alignment with your highest self. Alignment begins in the subtle details of daily life. The way you speak to yourself, the energy behind your words, the thoughts you allow to linger, these are the seeds of reality. If your words carry doubt or negativity, your energy becomes scattered, and the world mirrors that. But when your words are infused with clarity, confidence, and intention, they reinforce the frequency you wish to embody. Alignment is not perfection, it is consistency. It is showing up in your life in a way that matches the vision of your desires, moment by moment, choice by choice. Consider your actions as an extension of your energy. When you act from a place of fear, insecurity, or scarcity, you reinforce the very experiences you do not want. But when you act from abundance, from authenticity, from joy, your energy radiates outward, creating a magnetic field that draws people, circumstances, and opportunities toward you. Alignment is a full body experience. It is how you think, how you feel, how you move through the world. It is not something that can be faked. It is something that is lived, breathed, and expressed. The choices you make each day are powerful indicators of alignment. Every decision, no matter how small, carries energetic weight. Choosing to nurture yourself, to honor your intuition, to prioritize your joy, sends a clear signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Choosing negativity, doubt, or distraction sends the opposite signal, creating friction where there could be flow. True attraction is about cultivating an inner state that naturally expresses itself through aligned choices. It is about living as if your desired reality is already present and allowing every action to reflect that truth. One of the most important aspects of alignment is authenticity. People, opportunities, and experiences respond to genuine energy. When you attempt to be someone you are not, or when your actions contradict your inner state, you create dissonance that repels rather than attracts. Alignment requires courage, the courage to honor your truth, to act in ways that feel natural and true to your essence, even if they defy external expectations. The universe always responds to authenticity because authentic energy is pure, vibrant, and magnetic. As you align more deeply, you begin to notice the effortless flow of life. Doors open without struggle, conversations unfold with ease, and opportunities appear at precisely the right moment. This is not coincidence, it is the natural law of resonance in action. When your inner energy, your intentions, and your actions are coherent and in harmony, the world responds accordingly. It is like tuning an instrument. When all the strings are in harmony, the music that emerges is beautiful and resonant. Misalignment, however, creates discord. When your thoughts, feelings, and actions are scattered or contradictory, attraction becomes difficult. Alignment, therefore, is the bridge between desire and manifestation, the path through which intention becomes reality. Alignment also allows for inspired action. Once your energy is coherent and your intentions clear, opportunities and guidance begin to appear, often in subtle, intuitive ways. You find yourself taking steps that feel effortless, yet powerful, because they emerge from a place of flow rather than force. This is the magic of alignment. Action and energy work together seamlessly. You are not forcing outcomes, but you are moving in harmony with the currents of life, responding to the signals that the universe sends in perfect timing. It is essential to understand that alignment is ongoing. Life will always present challenges, distractions, and doubts. Alignment is not a static state, but a dynamic practice. Each moment offers the opportunity to return to your center, to recalibrate your energy, and to realign your actions with your highest vision. Through consistent awareness, intentional choice, and authentic expression, you reinforce the energetic field that attracts the experiences, people, and opportunities you desire. Over time, this practice transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, the mundane into the magical. And as you continue to live in alignment, you begin to recognize the simplicity of true attraction. It is not about manipulating circumstances, convincing others, or controlling outcomes. It is about embodying the reality you wish to experience moment by moment, choice by choice, thought by thought. Your inner state, when fully aligned, becomes irresistible. The universe responds naturally, effortlessly, and beautifully. What you desire is drawn to you, not because you chased it, but because your energy created the perfect space for it to arrive. So remember, attraction is not separate from who you are. It is the natural reflection of your energy, your choices, and your alignment. When you live as your most authentic, intentional, and aligned self, the world bends toward you with ease. Alignment turns desire into reality.